Hello, hello, everybody. My name is Diana Polanco, and I'm here with my colleague Brenda Acevedo. We are licensed insurance representative in the state of Florida for homeowners and for automobile. And we represent Jacobs Insurance Services Allstate. And we are here so excited because we have great tips for you guys, for homeowners, the latest on homeowners insurance and also in auto insurance in the state of Florida. How are you, my friend Brenda? How are you doing?
Happy Saturday. I'm doing well.
Happy
And
Saturday.
everyone, I'm excited to be here today, and I hope that we can relate a lot of important and good information for you to use.
Yes, this is important. This is a hot topic in Florida. Insurance. Everybody's concerned about it. Okay. So, Brenda, I'm going to start by asking you, we represent Jacobs Insurance Services Allstate. We're exclusive agents for automobile, for boat, for, motorcycle, golf carts. But when it comes to homeowners, we're brokerages. We represent companies, the
Correct.
best companies in the state of Florida. And Brenda is the specialist and the expert writing homeowners. So, Brenda, tell us the companies that we write insurance, how many companies do we have right now?
So right now we're working with more than 15 companies. They are rated A plus. Allstate will allow us to represent only those great companies out here.
Okay, great. That's very good to know because some people are like, okay, so you only represent all state. No, we have over 15 companies, carriers rated A in the state of Florida. So we customize everything and trying to find the best company to fit your needs. So very important. If you have any questions, you can contact Brenda and Brenda can guide you through everything. Brenda, a lot of questions. People call me and we are fully licensed for personal lines. Brenda, takes care of the home department, and I take care of everything that has to do with auto. But people ask, okay, what is important? What should I do? I'm trying to buy a house, and how can I get insurance? Like, what are those tips and those important tips that people have to pay attention to? Okay, I want to purchase a property. Those are the things that I have to pay attention to in order to understand that I'm going to be getting insurance for the property. Like for sure, they are going to insure my property. Can you tell us, Brenda, what are those requirements to get insurance?
Of course, my number one tip to everyone, not just a first-time home buyer, is I want to remind everyone, June 1st is the start of hurricane season here in Florida.
Oh
So
no.
this weekend, I recommend the biggest tip is for everyone to now, this weekend, next weekend, don't wait. Pull out your home insurance declarations page if you are a homeowner right now. Call your agent, make sure your policy is active. Make sure that if you want to make a change on it, you make that change now. As you know, Viana, whenever we get into hurricane season, a lot of times many companies shut down. We can't make changes. We can't even find new policies. So for those out there purchasing homes, keep that in mind. If you find somebody that's going to give you a good rate that you like as an agent, go for it. Especially hurricane season. We never predict, as you know, when these things are going to come our way. So it's really hard for us to be able to work while they're here. The hurricane, they will go ahead and suspend binding.
Mhm.
We won't be able to do anything. So my biggest tip for you is get your policies out. If you are a homeowner right now, review them, ask questions to your agent, make sure you're ready. If you're purchasing a home right now for the first time, also make sure that if you get a good quote and if it's a good day for you to put it in place, take advantage of it.
Yes,
Um,
that's very
yeah,
important.
for sure. And one of my biggest tips for those that are out there buying new home properties, as you know, there's a lot of inspections that they have to perform on the homes. Keep in mind that when it comes to your homeowner's insurance policy, there's only two inspections that you should be sharing with your agent or with the carrier. It would be a 4-point inspection and a wind mitigation inspection. We can go into detail about those. There is a whole home inspection that's completed, and you as a realtor too, would you like to tell the audience why they shouldn't share that home inspection, the complete home inspection, with their agent?
Yeah, so basically, as from I'm a realtor as well. So from the real estate perspective, like, we go into negotiations. You have something, a defective item, something that needs to be fixed. You can negotiate this between the buyer and the seller. So if you send that inspection to the insurance company, they might deny, the insurance. So it's in your best interest just not to share that general inspection, just to send the inspections that Brenda is referring to, the 4-point inspection and the wind mitigation inspection that will give you credits on the roof of the property. And the 4-point inspection, they have to do with all the plumbing, electrical systems. So that's the advice, because there is room for negotiation. The realtor is going to take care of this negotiation. So you just send those inspections, and then after that, we can go from there. Let's put it that way.
And I want to say, the inspections are not always required. When you're purchasing a home, and if you're purchasing something that's 20 years of age or older, keep in mind that you are going to eventually need a 4-point inspection. The 4-point inspection will let the insurance carrier know that the AC, that the roof, electricity, plumbing, the yes, electrical and the water heater. Sorry, I forgot one. It's in good condition. And that's actually another one of my biggest tips. The water heater. I bet everyone out there is thinking, what does that have to do with insurance? It has a lot to do with insurance. Many carriers will not insure your home if you actually have a water heater that's 15 years or older. And if you have a water heater that's less than that, we'll have better options for you. And of course, a better premium. Who would have thought that the water heater could make such a big difference, right?
Yes, that has changed lately. It wasn't like that in the past, but now that is totally different. You're right. And Brenda, can you tell us? And I'm going a little faster because you know that we're in Zoom here, and we want to touch all the important points so you don't miss anything. The different type of roofs and the year, the life expectancy and the requirements. As far as the age of the roof and the type of roof.
Okay, right now, insurance companies are not to say that they are not accepting the roof because of its year. They actually go by the condition of the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Shingles, the best ones to go with that you're going to get a good rate and a better chance of getting approved is can't be more than 15 years of age when it comes to shingle roofs. For tile roofs is 25 years of life expectancy. And for metal roofs, it's actually 40 years. So if you're looking out there shopping for a home, take a look at the type of roof that the house has that has your interest in, because it makes a big difference in the insurance price.
That is huge. And not only the insurance, also, if I purchase a property and I cannot afford to replace that roof in 2 years, you need to be cautious of that.
Yes, most definitely.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Brenda, what can you tell us?
And always make sure that if you are, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry?
Oh, I was gonna just mention one important thing. When you're replacing your roof, it's extremely important that you always pull a permit. You don't pull a
Yes.
permit, it's like
Yes,
did nothing with the insurance company. So that's also something that's very important.
that's important to keep in mind. Brenda, can you tell us a little bit about the difference or the different type of electrical panels? There are some requirements as far as insurance companies and electrical panels. Can you tell us what they have different brands?
Yes, and the
Are they
ones
acceptable?
have been giving us an issue that most insurance company won't take is the Federal Pacific, electrical wiring, Cisco, Challenger, and it's not with all carriers, but most carriers. So
All right. So I know that something that is been changing lately, especially after the major hurricanes that we had in Florida, is the flood. What can you tell us about flood, Brenda?
real quick about flood. I actually just shared a fact on my social media. Last year, 68% of flood insurance claims were placed in homes that were outside the flood zone. So
Imagine that.
changed. As you can see, these last catastrophic events, we've had major flooding because of heavy rain, the storm surge. So that is all changing. We are surrounded by water. It is super important that if you are to be considered in a flood zone, you have enough coverage. Also check that policy today. If you're not to be considered in a flood zone, I also recommend take advantage of the great rates that you can get for flood insurance now, because flood insurance is going up. and it's getting worse. Like I said, we are seeing more areas that will never flood in the past being the ones that are being affected, actually more than those that are in a flood. So get with us, get with your agent, ask questions about flood insurance. A lot of our clients think that their homeowner's policy includes flood insurance, and it doesn't. So make sure, like I said, that you know what you're covered for. You're not missing any coverage. Get a quote for flood insurance if you're not in the flood zone. You'll be surprised of how inexpensive it can be compared to those who are in one. So be ready this hurricane season.
Get ready because it's already here. Get early quotes, and this is an advice for real estate agents, for buyers and sellers. Early quotes, talk to a reliable agency, check the reviews, and make sure that they know what they're doing, because that's very important as well. We're happy to answer all your questions about home, about all type of insurance in the state of Florida. We write in the entire state of Florida, and we're here happy to help you. All right, Brenda. So we're going to move to the automobile insurance that everybody is asking us questions all the time. So what do you think about that? What questions do you have about auto?
I want to ask you, the expert, and I think this is something that we hear all the time. I come to you and I only know that I have full coverage. You, as the expert, tell me, is full coverage what everybody needs?
You know, when I hear full coverage, that is a misconception. That is a word that it shouldn't be used. You know, a lot of people assume that full coverage is to have comprehensive and collision, you know, to have the coverage is to repair the vehicle after you pay a deductible. That is not full coverage, because if you kill someone right now, the only coverage you have is to fix your car, but you have no insurance to provide for the other person and that result injured by you. So no, this is actually something that needs to be discussed, and we need to educate people about this. You asked me earlier today, how much insurance do I need? I mean, that's the question that people ask. How much insurance? How do you calculate that?
Yes.
Well, auto insurance, basically, I always recommend to go with the highest possible bodily injury liability. Bodily injury liability is the coverage that will provide for the other person the result injured by you if you're at fault. In the state of Florida, the minimum required liability is $10,000 per person, $20,000 per accident. If you have an accident, that is almost nothing. Why? Because if you live in the United States, you should know that when you go to a hospital and you have an IV for a weekend because you're dehydrated, the bill is higher than $10,000. So imagine that someone passed away because of you, or somebody needs major surgery because of you. So my recommendation is to go with the highest possible bodily injury liability. And if you own assets, if you own properties, if you have money in the bank, you need to protect your assets. And how you can protect the assets is by increasing as much as you can the bodily injury liability. For example, if you own a property, a home, I suggest for you to go at least with 250,000 per person, 500,000 per accident. In addition to that, I will recommend for you to purchase an umbrella policy with an extra $1 million in liability. And this is only if you own a home. If you own more properties, you need a couple of $1 million. But yeah, that's definitely my advice. And the umbrella policy will provide in the event that you exceed the liability on your automobile or on your home. It will provide assistance for legal defense costs, attorneys. Talking to an attorney for half an hour, that can cost you, I don't know, $400. So that's very important to have. You can have a lot of peace of mind if you are highly covered with your liability.
Yeah, and tell our clients, because I know you've been mentioning the home. For those who are homeowners, how are our homes linked to the auto policy?
Well, home and auto are linked hand to hand. Why? Because your house is your asset. If you injure someone else right now, okay, and a person needs major surgery, somebody died because of you, a judge in the state of Florida is going to go after everything you have and everything you own. And I know when it comes to home, that can be tricky. I'm not an attorney, but when it comes to home, property might be under a trust. They cannot touch it. Or property, my home is my primary home. In Florida, they cannot. We have seen, in second home, and also when a judge said that you are liable and you kill somebody, it could happen. They can go after you. We know for a fact that if you injure someone, you don't have enough coverage to provide for the other person, the result injured by you, if you're at fault, a judge is going to garnish 25% of your paycheck. Is going to happen. Okay. So whether if you have access or not, like Brenda, some people tell me and argue with me, hey, I don't have assets. I don't care because I have nothing. Here's the point. If you don't have any assets, you have a paycheck, right? Because you work. A judge is going to garnish your paycheck and basically it's going to put you to work for another family. And that's not something fun, because what's going to happen with your future, your kids' future, your savings, and everything you were planning for your life,
Right.
just for not even thinking about this and taking the time to sit with that agent and increase the liability or pay $200 more, you can be avoiding that. I mean, to put yourself and your family in that position is just not worth it.
So yes, and I always, before becoming an insurance agent, I was just a client and I never knew the importance of insurance. I thought insurance is a requirement. I have to have insurance. I have it, I'm good. But no, please get educated about your policies. Ask questions. You don't want to wait, right, Diana, till the day of, God forbid, you have to place a claim and then you uncover that you're not covered, you don't have enough coverage. No, make sure you get with someone, your agent, or contact us. We'll be more than happy to review your policies, quote you. We're here to help. We're here to educate.
Absolutely, absolutely. And some people are like, they don't rely on the information that, certain quotes were higher for a person, and you think that agent is very expensive and all the quotes are going to be expensive. No, no. The insurance premium, the auto insurance premium is determined by many, many factors, different factors. There's a lot of people with young drivers. Your premium is definitely going to be higher than somebody who has no kids. It has to do with your I score. It has to do with the zip code, for example, where you live. There are some areas where they have higher risk of accidents and claims, and they increase the rate in that specific area. So just don't get intimidated and talk to the agent so we can review this is a case by case situation. We're more than happy to check your driving history and see if we can offer you something better.
Yes, and same goes for us, homeowners insurance policies. There's so many factors that go into play. Just because your neighbor has the same exact home model as you, same years and everything, you're not gonna get the same prices a lot of times. Each individual is different. We run insurance course based on you, the person, your asset. So there's so many things that go into play. So much to ask, so much to learn, but that is why we're here.
Yes, very, very important. And finally, the life insurance. A lot of people, Brenda, underestimate life insurance. I was one of them. When I was young, you talked to me about life insurance. I was not educated about it when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
What happened with life insurance? Why is so important?
Feel that it's very expensive. I hear that. I feel that they are in fear of even getting quoted because they think life insurance, I can't afford it. Is that
No,
the time?
no, no. What happened with life insurance is as you get older, of course, you get ill or sick and you have health conditions, that will impact the premium. The life insurance premium has to do with your age, your health condition, if you smoke, if you don't smoke. When you purchase the policy before 40 years old, it is very reasonable, very, very reasonable. After that, it is going to definitely increase.
Yes.
Now, why it's important? Because things happen every day, and we believe that we are going to live for 100 years, but life happens, accident happens, diagnosis happen, and we see this all the time. Brenda, you and I, we worked for many years together, and we have seen scenarios where I wrote a policy today, and then next year I see that person coming to tell me that she has 3 months to live.
Yes,
And
I forget those claims because I was part of it, so I know how important it is. Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
it's just crazy. You don't think that's going to happen. And then it makes you think, oh my God, that can happen to me. That can happen to my family. I need to talk to people about life insurance. People need to know that this happened. And also, not only that, do you remember this case? One of the hundreds cases we have in years and years. I remember this man. I was talking to him. It was on a Wednesday. I remember it must have been like maybe what 2014. And I offered life insurance. He declined it. He declined it. The following Wednesday, his 20 years old son died in an accident here in I-75. He didn't see a truck. He just went 80 miles per hour. And he came back to the office to talk to me, and I couldn't help him. That was my major frustration. It was just,
Remember that.
yeah, it is important. You see a lot of scenarios, a lot of cases, and you just want to make sure that you talk to people about it. And you have to explain this to people. A lot of people purchase a house, they have a home now, they're so happy. Boom, there's an accident, my husband died. Who's going to pay the mortgage now? And you
Right.
already paid for 5 years, so you have some equity there. Yes, but then you're going to abandon that house and everything you already paid for. How about if you have a life insurance on your husband and you now can keep the house and your kids can keep the roof and go to school because of that life policy? So that's very, very important.
Yes, and one thing that I want to also say about life insurance, I'm a single mother of 5, and of course, my kids are my biggest thing for me to protect if something happens to me. We have various products. We can customize it to fit your needs. For example, like I said, my biggest thing is to leave my kids with something. It could be that you want to leave your home paid off. It could be so many things, but we're here to help. We're here to offer, customize something for you. Life insurance to me is actually one of the most important policies that you should have in your house. You want to make sure that if you don't come home tomorrow, your family will be okay. So yes.
That's important. And please, I know insurance might be boring. I know it is complex. I know everybody has excuse. Oh, I don't have time to talk to you now. Make sure you make time to talk insurance, especially like Brenda said, we have the hurricane season here. Review your policies, just check, make sure that you're not under insuring your properties. Get ready, and we are ready to help you. You can give us a call at 239-963-0309. My name is Viana Polanco with Jacobs Insurance Services Allstate. And Brenda, if you'd like to share your phone number.
Of course, my direct line, again, Brenda Acevedo, my direct line is 239-908-6856. Again, 239-908-6856. Ready for your questions and discussions, provide you with a call.
We are very happy to assist you and answer all your questions. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, Viana, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.